It's finals day of season 3 in the North American Strikers League. My name is K-Bot, joined by 3 analysts to break down a little bit of the action before we get into the games. I'll go to you, Borg, first. How you doing today? Happy finals day.
I'm doing all right, Mr. K-Bot. Feeling good. Kind of over everything from 2 weeks ago. I like that week break. It gives me time to process, and now I'm just ready to, I guess, soak in the gameplay, right? Soak in the greatness that is NASL. These top 3 teams, they worked really hard to be here, so I'm excited to kind of see how everything kind of pans out.
Joining us on the desk today is Gumi. Gumi, how's the coaching going?
Oh, the coaching's going great. I've coached a lot of
Okay.
teams. I've been in the
Yeah.
mines. I've been talking. I've been going
Yeah.
house to house, making sure these playoff teams are ready for the last day. Had to eliminate myself early, otherwise it wouldn't be fair. And
Right.
let's see how the games go today. Hopefully, Omega Strikers is elevated.
We'll see what ends up happening. Crazy, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great. I'm great. Woke up
You
today
woke up?
feeling. Yeah. Hey, I'm up. Sometimes 11 a.m. is good morning for NASL, and boy, is it a good day today. So I'm excited to watch some Omega Strikers. Oh yeah.
It's a good day to be a fan of competitive Omega Strikers, and so was 2 weeks ago. Let's do a little reflection on one of the games that took place last week with, or I should say last week of play, with a draft to last segment. You all know how this one works. It's a mock draft here, taken from an actual setting that happened in game in just a moment. That'll come up on the screen. And it'll be Gumi and Threezy drafting against each other. Just so you all are aware, I'll give you a moment to look at the, case here. We're on Atlas's lab in the first draft here of the game. So all of the starter awakenings have been picked, and a couple of interesting characters across the board here that took place on our first playoffs day. So Gooby, you're representing the blue team. You'll be first, and Threezy, you're on the red side going second. Two of you ready to go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's a mistake. I see a Finny on my screen. I don't know why that was picked. That
This is
character
this
sucks.
is Cow at EKC. I
That
believe.
is.
That character
Well,
sucks. I wonder if they
look at that.
won. I wonder if they won.
Well, let's see what happens here. Revealing the awakenings. Gooby, need one from you first.
On Finny here, you're probably just looking for some more damage to win the damage race, or you're looking to become the mayor. So I would say there's definitely multiple correct options here. You could probably just grab the spark and start sparking it up, or you could grab Happy Star or Manu, or even Castelast. But probably
Gooby, quit
I'm gonna
yapping. I need
go
an
with
awakening.
Spark. Yeah, let's become the mayor.
Threezy. On the IME.
Extra special.
And on the Zentaro.
Explosive entrance.
Gooby.
Stagger Swagger.
Threezy.
Probably either. Oh, I guess. Monu.
And Goomy.
Recovery drone.
All right. Borg. Who won here?
Well, you see, the draft was never fair to begin with, as you can see. This draft sucks. If I was blue team here, I would be so upset for winning this set. I mean, this is just the classic Omega Strikers carousel win set to lose draft right here. I think the way Gumi played it was kind of correct. I think I could see it's like, even if you take extra special or what's it called, explosive entrance away from Amy or Zentaro, like it's kind of hard because like either one of them still get their bis anyway, and then you're getting something that like you really don't care that much about. So you might as well just I like the spark pickup, kind of just gives you some scaling option. Same with the stagger swagger, makes it harder for them to kill you. So obviously, who won the draft? I mean, I think Red Side always wins this draft, just no matter what. But I like the way that Gumi just decided to say, you know what, let's just try to scale. Let's just figure out, what are the late game options here, and go with that. So I think that was pretty good. So winner red, but I think blue side did well to negate their losses.
Yeah, right. I'll go ahead and reveal what actually happened in the game. You all were correct, of course. This is Core Overflow versus EKC 2 weeks ago. The extra special was picked up first by Slop, opting for that denial away. Gumi, what do you think about the overall strategy here in comparison to what you ended up doing?
I think it's like essentially the same idea. He just decided to grab extra special instead of sparking. If this was the first set of the game, I think sparking is definitely correct. You can maybe opt for leadership into resilience later, which helps your team survive against them. But I don't think anyone's trolling by going happy star here.
3Z, let's talk about this Juno pick. I'm pretty sure that's not a typo. I'm pretty sure the Juno picked up Recovery Drone. Recovery Drone versus Monu? I thought Monu was just the absolute pick on the Juno here. No?
Yeah, it's really good. I'm guessing he just wanted to deny the recovery drone. But I'm learning more and more that this awakening is pretty fake. You respawn and you're either still staggered or you have like 10 HP, so it's pretty easy to kill someone after they recover. Size is still really important, but on Zentaro, it's like, I don't know, it's okay. I definitely just take Vis and go Monu, but hey, what do I know?
Well, we'll see, of course, what happens in drafts. Be on the lookout for these kinds of strategies. Maybe we'll see more denials away from EKC, especially as they play a very damage-heavy composition, which we'll talk about more in a bit. Taking a look at the bracket and the summary of what happened 2 weeks ago. Of course, wild day of competitive Omega Strikers. Yeah, that's Gooby. We have to do it to you. I'm sorry. You're out there after a loss to Bud Mode Bonanza and the Sad Boys. Do you have any comments, Scooby, for your play 2 weeks ago?
It's okay. Snake's out of town. We didn't really wanna take the spotlight away from anyone else by like throwing a sub in, and we wanted to go down and give Borg a little kiss in the losers bracket. So it is what it is.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Borg, I know you were real happy that you were going up against Demons.
Yeah,
You
I
were-
mean, listen, call it my fault. Call it my what's it called? Doubting
Hubris?
Bun Bun, my hubris, some might say,
Yeah.
for doubting Bun Bun. But let's just say, if you watch that Demon vs. Bun Bun series, you'd be a little bit upset like I was. Bun Bun still played very well, obviously. I'm not discrediting them for anything. They played very, very well. They completely thrashed Demons in those last 2 games. And Demons, in turn, sought revenge into thrashing me. Even worse, I would say. Way worse. That was an awful game. So, yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's Omega Strikers.
3Z, you just got to watch everything unfold 2 weeks ago. Are you glad you weren't in this bracket after seeing everything that happened?
Yes and no. I don't know. We've always been the most competitive like team that even if we didn't make playoffs, like we've gone pretty much game 3.5 with like all of these teams. Not Demons, but the rest of the teams we pretty much went. We won 0.5 the first game. We lost the second game pretty hard, but that's because we picked X. Terrible character. Exclamation point Canada. But yeah, so I would have liked to maybe be in this bracket, see if we could take series off these teams, because we know we can. No worries, no. But yeah, I don't know. Some crazy stuff happened, so who knows?
After seeing everything that happened, a lot of fans were on the edge of their seats last week, and a lot of folks were cheering on some of their favorite teams. We actually ran a favorite teams poll over CrossCourt in general, and here are the results of the votes that took place between February and March. Undeniably, of course, the Sad Boys topping the charts there, but the Bun Bun Bonanza, third overall. They've got some fans rooting for them here to come out on top of the end. Gumi, do you think Bun Bun Bonanza has it in them to go all the way and make these fans happy?
Yeah, I think Bun Bun Bonanza is the definite favorite going into today. I'm not going to give them the underbun buff, as you would say, because they love being the underbuns. But I do think that going into this, that Bun Bun Bonanza is the favorites.
3Z, of course, Sad Boys, no surprise to see them topping the chart here. What do you think? How many people are now rooting for the Sad Boys after coming from losers and seeing all of the other teams get knocked out by them?
Probably majority. I mean, everyone knows now that this is Sad Boy's last hurrah, or is it? At least for now. But yeah, I mean, they're a really lovable team. They've been around forever. Each of the players has their own unique personality. And I'm excited to watch them today.
Key storyline, of course, Yuri Luz going for the three-peat, winning all three North American Strikers League championships. Borg, let's talk about Aris Kitten Club. Down here at the 8th spot overall. Some at the beginning considered them the villains for their winner's song that they ended up picking at the end of broadcasts in some cases. How do you think people are feeling about them now heading into this weekend?
Well, I don't think anyone dislikes EKC in terms of like, they really want to see them lose. I think obviously, people have their favorites. People want to play towards the classic, the heroes versus villains, whatever you want to call them. But EKC is just kind of just like one of those teams that people feel like aren't going to win, but then they win anyway. And you're wondering, and it's not, and usually it's not even close a lot of the time when they win. It just looks like a stomp. And so I'm excited to see how they kind of perform in this week with a lot of prep. I talked to Katsuna yesterday during the tourney, sub for us for one game, and he was pretty pumped, pretty excited to come into today, pretty confident as well. So I think EKC can definitely get it done. And you also are all forgetting something here. Zoro is not in this tournament, so who else is going to beat Soren in this league? I mean, it's pretty difficult here without the King of Collegiate at your side. So actually, Zoro is on EKC, I'm pretty sure technically as well too. So big collegiate buffs, big stream yesterday is the only thing that I'm a little bit worried for EKC is that charity stream. If knowers know of that one. I don't think I have to explain too much. Soren was not conscious, I would say, towards the end of that. But hopefully they made a good recovery, and then Katsuna and XCD obviously feeling great. Excited to see him play. Hopefully if they play well, I mean, I think regardless how they play, I hope they get a couple more fans. I hope they get more supporters after this because they deserve it.
You have to imagine Soren downing the G Fuel right now ahead of the winners finals matchup versus the Bun Bun Bonanza. Gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about this matchup, especially in the context of map pick ban, because there was a little bit of an interesting trend between all three of these teams. Every single one of these teams picked Atlas's Lab as their first map pick in last playoffs series. Gooey, you're giving me the thumbs down. What's wrong with that lab?
I mean, that's the most disgusting map in the game. Like, all I'm saying is these teams, they should ban Atlas Lab versus Sad Boys because knowers know when you go against Sad Boys on Atlas Lab, the Sad Boys happens quite a lot. Lucky freaks.
Breezy, you're shaking your head. It's Vaughn's Lab, but EKC wants to pick it for the damage comps.
I mean, don't go to Vaughn's Lab. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know. For me, it's like Sad Boys are the grandfathers of this, right? You have two new teams. You have Bun Bun and EKC. They're the team with more experience. So on these OG maps, they're going to have probably the advantage. It's interesting, though. Teams like this map for different reasons. Scyther 12 gets to cook with Rasmus on this map. And then obviously EKC loves it for the damage. The Luna, if it's left unbanned, good for Juno as well. So lots of advantages for each of these teams on this map for sure.
Talking about a couple of these things here, Borg, I imagine Bun Bun Bonanza, they're the team that's kind of the outlier here, right? Sad Boys kind of can play everything. It feels like EKC very heavy on the damage, but Bun Bun is this very core control, feed it to Scyther and let him put it into the net. They're obviously comfortable here on Atlas's Lab. What other maps might play to their favor here in comparison to the other teams who are really might be looking to adopt that more damage style?
I feel like Bun Bun have this weird thing, like wherever people doubt them on a map or whenever people doubt them on like a character thing, they always prove them wrong, or at least really try to prove them wrong. I don't know if it's like due to ego or if it's due to just wanting to win a lot more. It's probably a mix of both. Nothing wrong with a little bit of healthy ego. We all got it, right? So honestly, I could see them picking a lot. Like, I could see them, for example, in the EKC game, they're not going to ban Atlas Lab. I can tell you right now, this map is going to be played. Pretty confident that that's going to happen. And I'm pretty confident that Bun Bun, honestly, are going to play really, really well on it, regardless win or lose. Other maps, I think they're pretty good for them. Clarion, I think they're pretty good at. I think they're really good at variety, and Scyther is a very creative player. So the multiple maps on Clarion actually, I think, goes to Bun Bun's favor a little bit there. And one more, I'm definitely thinking into the pool here, Oni. Their Oni has always looked like really, really strong relatively towards the other teams. So I would expect other teams to be banning Oni. I don't think Oni's going to be let through by EKC in this first series at the very least. Sad Boys, if for whatever reason they face off later on, I could see them possibly keeping it up against them, but I expect an Oni pick out of them if it's left up.
Gumi, want to talk a little bit about these other maps that weren't really picked up willingly by any of these teams. Firstly, Clarion, are we going to get any party maps, any Mario Party maps in here in terms of this Clarion pickup? What makes that map so unique, and do we think we're going to see it at all today?
I think Clarion is honestly one of the most kind of like even standard maps in the game, unironically. Like, a lot of people will kind of think of it as like a Mario Party map with all these different gimmicks, but I feel like a lot of series is just sort of picked as like a, how do I say it? It's just like a jack of all trades map. It just like is kind of there, has everything. It's not too specialized in one thing. It's not too KO heavy. It's not too core control. It's not too open. It's not too small. It's just kind of everything. So I do expect for Clarion to be played at least once today. And if you look at their first bans there, EKC loves to ban Oni because they're a KO team. Everyone knows them as that KO team. And Sad Boys loves that Gates ban because apparently they've like never played that map ever. So they're probably going to continue to be banning that. And I have no idea why Bun bans Tycho.
Probably just not feeling comfortable in the creation characters or something of the sort. Who knows? But we do have the map pick bans in for our first series. EKC bans away Oni. Bun banned away Atlas's lab. They
was
don't want to
wrong.
go there. You were
I was
wrong,
wrong.
Borg. EKC ends up picking Night Market for game one. Bun goes to Tycho. They're actually picking this one for themselves. Bun banned Gates. And EKC on the decider map goes to Imi's app as opposed to Clarion. Threezy, your reactions to the way this map draft played out?
That's interesting. I think Tycho might be more KO heavy than Atlas Lab just because it's way easier to confirm KOs. And for that reason alone, maybe they've been cooking up something special. They do like to cook with their comps, Bun. But that's an interesting choice. Also, the Amy's app I think is a really good pick for EKC. We'll see if they leave Rasmus up or they ban it. It's going to be interesting to see on both teams who locks that character if it's left up.
I don't know if I want to play Rasmus against Scyther 12, but hey, apparently EKC might be willing to flip the coin there, or they have another plan together. We'll see, as these teams have prepared all week for this, and really for the past 2 weeks for this very match. Neither one wants to drop down to go up against the Sad Boys. So, Gumi, who's going to be the one to punch their ticket into grand finals? Is it the Bun Bonanza or EKC as we get into predictions here for our first match?
As I said earlier, Bun, they're not the underbuns today. I'm going to give it to Bun Bonanza.
Threezy, what are you thinking?
Based on, now that I know the maps, I mean, this is tough. Oh, I don't want to doubt Bun. I've doubted them already too much. Even though I still believe in them, I've already doubted them too much. So I'm gonna go Bun. Even though I think the maps are favored for EKC. I don't know. This is gonna be good series.
Borg, what are you thinking?
So I was going to give it to Bun, but like Threezy just said, I think the map selection here, I think it favors EKC. EKC is really good on Tycho historically. They have some really interesting comps they can run there. They're really good at the Rune. They're really good at a lot of other things there. Night Market, I think, is pretty good for both teams, but I think if it goes to a game 3, I think EKC is very strong on Amy's app, especially if they ban the Rasmus away from Scyther. So I'm going to give it to EKC here, and mainly for my love of the fact that I want there to be a game 3. But I could definitely see Bun just taking the first 2 pretty quickly. But if that doesn't happen, EKC's taking it.
This one's a close one, and to reflect that, I'm going to split the desk here. Neither one of these teams are teams that typically you want to doubt, whether it be the incredible damage compositions coming in from EKC or the playmaking power of the Bun Bonanza, who have even been toying interesting picks on Tycho Temple, like Liari was messing around with Mako midfield on stream yesterday. Don't know what the deal with that is. We'll see whether or not that comes out here in our second game. But give me EKC here. I think it'll be more likely that they're able to absolutely come out on top with their damage power on these maps. Folks, we are just about ready to begin. Let the fireworks commence on this finals day for North American Strikers League Season 3. I will hand it over now to Tech and Fudgy Waffles, who are going to cast our first series.
Well, 10 weeks of hard-fought competition. Bun Bun Bonanza and Era's Kittens Club will be facing off in the winners final. Maybe not something a lot of people saw coming, but definitely a lot of people excited to see. Fudgy, what are you expecting to see from this match, and anything out of the ordinary we should be looking out for?
I don't know if there's going to be too much out of the ordinary, but the ordinary to expect is definitely going to be EKC picking damage and Scyther 12 going 1v Glizzy. It's really a little surprising to me to see that Tycho pick. The desk was talking about it already, but I think a lot of people, including EKC, maybe were not expecting this Atlas Lab ban from Bun Bun. They've picked it they've played on it so many times in the past and have looked really strong. But I really respect the ban, knowing that you are going to have to play into a heavy damage comp, which is just better on the map. As we have just seen in the past, that those types of comps are better on not only that map, but most maps. But opting out of it and picking something else that you've probably been practicing behind the scenes to get that little bit of an edge in a playoffs game is something I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, that week break between the first half of our playoffs last week has allowed these teams to build up their strats, get ready, and cook up something immaculate that I'm hoping you guys are all enjoying. I see you have your bestie Bucks in the channel pool. So, of course, don't forget to predict on that match now that we're in the winners finals. But map 1, Night Market, going to be an exciting match. I know 3Z was talking about EKC using that kill comp that they're so well known for. And Night Market, a map where you're locked in a small lane, with someone like an X, with someone like an Era. I'm expecting to see a lot of KOs, and we'll see if Bun Bun Bonanza is able to keep up the pressure to sort of counteract that and to deal with that.
Yeah. Talking on Night Market, Katsuna has been picking Luna on this map in the past on certain starts even, which is a pretty non-traditional pick. But it seems to work when Katsuna picks it. Other person, it's like Windoge is a person I saw picking it on that map like a long time ago. But just picking the Luna just to deal damage and kind of be annoying. It's just a weird pick that you're not used to practicing against. There's not really many people that will ever pick Luna on that map. So having to prepare for that is something that's really difficult if you're Bun Bun. There's also just so keeping that in the back of your mind, if it's a Deadeye start, that's something that they're going to want to pick. Other characters like Kazan and Zentaro are also big things to look at for both teams. If you want to target one, Scyther 12 picking up the Kazan lately. It's been picking it a lot. Has the signature Rasmus, but we'll have to see if on a map like Night Market, where Rasmus is also not as commonly picked, if we see Scyther 12 go for that or something like Julie or something else, and we see this IME ban being hovered by Bun Bun, something that Soren has kind of gone away with for a long time throughout the season, with not getting banned. If you look at the stats, it's just doesn't happen that often. We see Deadeye timeless start, so we are going to see some damage. The Finny Bun is coming out, and the Vice is coming in return. That's definitely Soren locking that in.
Oh, 100%. This is going to be a deadly match, and being on the pitch at this time is terrifying against these two teams. Of course, we do see the Finny and Kazan being locked in from the side of Bun Bun Bonanza, and the Estelle is locked in as well. A good pick and able to just stun the goalie, especially potentially one like Vice or Luna who doesn't have a lot of stuffing capability. But there we go. All 6 Deadeye locks from both of these teams. Bun Bun Bonanza and Era's Kittens Club about to see some damage.
Yeah, 6 Deadeyes on the board. Even Scyther 12 deciding to pick that. There actually might be ways to trigger Deadeye as Kazan. I'm actually not 100% certain, because sometimes it depends on when you trigger the ability. Like some dashes technically might reach it, but a good start for EKC. I know Soren's been practicing this Vice pick in preparation for the IME ban, and the damage is coming out from not just Soren, but the rest of the team really quickly.
Yeah, a huge amount of damage, and Liari's already taken off the map. Billy Bun and Scyther locking things down as Liari finally comes back online. But Soren has so much utility and so many abilities to deal with the pressure, and an excellent evade strike there from Soren, who's now pushed up in the midfield. Katsuna using that ult, trying to zone things out as Scyther 12 is just getting chipped away from NXCD.
Yeah, and now NXCD is the one that's getting a little low. Liari with no energy, though, is going to be the one that has to watch out. Katsuna missing that rock is actually huge because of that Deadeye. Again, the Deadeye start is kind of disgusting if you are Harrod's Kitten Club. You get so much out of that, but Scyther 12 is now hit overtime, which means the core is going to be moving really fast from this Kazan. NXCD needs to find a flip to score, but it's just going to get Liari out of the picture with the stagger and then find the shot.
Yeah, an excellent shot. Burns the flip, but the pass from Katsuna is just too quick. Ends up splitting the defense, and a quick goal there from EKC. Doing a good job, and look at this damage. Liari forced to lose half of her HP immediately as NXCD is hunting for this KO, and now Soren. Liari completely staggered, trying to stay alive as Scyther doing their best to take the barriers, and a flip away will relieve some pressure. And Liari with an excellent Rose Warp to save that in the defense.
Yeah, Scyther 12 has a pretty good matchup into Soren here as a brawler versus goalie. We see the damage stack up eventually, and then Lilybun's going to be the one to finally get that KO. Now Katsuna has to play goalie here, but is able to hold for a little bit. It's been even stays holding. Scyther 12 not able to find an opening, ran out of cooldowns in order to push through, and now has to move backwards to try to regain possession. But Soren coming back online at the last second is going to score another goal for EKC. And there's just, like, looking at the starts, NXCD taking the Siphoning Wand and Scyther 12 taking the Slick Kicks, it kind of like spells out how these teams like to play. Scyther 12 not having Slick Kicks in the game just kind of takes away a little bit of that carry potential, but at the same time, it means you're just that much easier to KO and have that much less damage, and that could be a difference in the brawler matchup and who's getting more KOs.
Yeah, that is a huge factor, and not to mention these goalies. You know, typically, most people think that Finny and Vice are both sort of paper goalies. You know, they don't have that stuffing ability, and if the core gets past you, one piercing shot or one missile from Luna can be all that your goal wrote.
Yeah, but as we see all barriers falling down, not very surprising at all. Katsuna playing great defense to help Soren out, but the KO will come through nonetheless. Scyther 12, although staggered, it's going to be really hard to find a KO without Zentaro on the field, who's really the one that needs to be finding the KOs, but Soren dashes forward and gets another goal. The dashes passes farther forward than either of the teammates, well, one being KO'd, but getting the reverse power play goal and getting a quick 3-0 set is not something you want to see. The damage is going to scale harder on this damage comp. Stagger Swagger on the board here. It's a pretty big pickup. You could see things like Hot Shot or Fight or Flight taken as well, though, if you're Katsuna, but Stagger Swagger is just super high prio in these damage games. When you're doing damage v damage, you can argue that it's better to just play for core control and draft because everyone does so much damage anyway that you almost want to figure out who can become the better core control team. But I also want to really highlight Soren getting Hot Shot. Every primary will red core as Soren, and that makes the game get really chaotic really fast, and we'll have to see if Bun's ready for that.
Yeah, that's scary. We've seen the Lilybun get split across the lanes earlier in this first set, and now with Hot Shot, we might see it more often. Lilybun looking for the pass up to Scyther. NXCD is on such low HP, but look at that off the map. Scyther 12 taken away. The smoke from Lilybun not assisting enough. And there's that red core you were talking about. Soren gets one through, but it's taken off the map. NXCD is stuck staggered in their own net as the last one, and the last barrier will fall. Will Scyther and Liari and the forward be able to take this goal before Soren comes back up? And oh no! The core is in Bun Bonanza's net.
I can't even figure out why that went. Okay, so Lilybun was trying to charge up a primary, I think, so sent it backwards, but then the core just came there at the exact same time, which resulted in an unfortunate own goal. But it's just kind of a problem with this Finny is that we've kind of yet to see it be piloted to like a level where it feels like it's really strong. Like a lot of multiple teams have picked it in the past, but as we see, it just kind of sometimes can crumble really quickly under pressure. Vice has kind of the same issue, but Vice can at least play forward and get more damage, like get really in there and affect the core a lot more than Finny can. So kind of figuring out what the solution is going to be as Scyther
man.
12 is taken off is kind of Bun's question right now.
Man, that is difficult. Taking off the map so quick. And as you mentioned, Vice able to put on that offensive pressure. We see it so often where the best ability is just simply to strike, and having that one extra striker in your goal box makes things almost impossible, especially with the Finny goalie. And there's a nice pass and a clear out from Liari and Lilybun, who are just looking to get it past that midfield. Scyther able to get one barrier with that Kazan strike box, but now has to try to defend this. NXED takes one, takes two gates, and EKC sitting with nothing in the net. Liari is doing a good job at clearing things out though, but Lilybun is getting hunted right now, able to get the orb, but on such low stagger. NXZD at any moment could take them out.
Yeah, it's NXT trying to find that damage is going to be something that they're keeping their eye on. But Liari came back to help. They were able to defend it off. But still, right now, this barrier standing for Soren. But the flip being used a little bit preemptively is not going to matter, as a few flubs from Bun result in the core being able to fly through all of them. And Soren gets another goal. Going to have quite the nice stat line coming into this one. Looking at this draft, there is a spark of focus on NXCD here, so spark of leadership is an option, but you could even opt for strength if you want the direct power on yourself right now, or you can just deny both and take your character's best, one of your character's best awakenings of heavy impact and explosive entrance on the board. This does mean a lot of the Zentaro best in slot is kind of off of the table. There's still 1-2 punch in there somewhere, but heavy impact being denied from Vice isn't that big of a deal because you get rapid fire. Soren just has a pretty disgusting build right now. These primaries are going to probably take over the game.
Yes, indeed. And they already do so much damage. And look at that. Liari has to try to escape and loses half of their HP right away. This damage is so strong, but look at that. A nice combo from Liari and Scyther. Takes NXZD off the map, and now's your chance to strike on this power play. There's one barrier, but a nice clear away from Katsuna, as now Soren is pushed up in the midfield before blinking back. Ooh, and Katsuna just missing the angle, not able to get those barriers yet, but the corner is a scary place to be for a Vice goalie. As Lilybun able to use that ult, and Scyther with the hook into the shot finds the bottom corner of the net.
So some really important things happening for Bun here. One, finding those KOs without the damage is huge, because then you get to stack on damage to another target or just win the whole round as they just did. But also, like Scyther 12, although Bun lost that last draft ridiculously as they get another KO, this Spark of Leadership with Spark of Resilience still available means that if Scyther 12 can grab that Spark of Resilience, it's going to be so much harder to find these KOs on the Bun. And if that happens, there could be a huge turning point for the team.
Exactly, and Lilybun using the abilities much better this round. Has managed to save two certain barriers so far and still keeping one alive, as finally EKC loses one of their own. It's a difficult clear out. Lilybun does manage to find it, and there's the Crystal Thorns to help clear things through. NXCD getting smoked a little bit, and there's that last barrier falling. The strike war in the net, the ult coming out. Lilybun able to hold things down, but Soren has the flip, but still in a scary situation.
Yeah, two KOs this round coming not from staggered targets from Bun. If they can keep finding these KOs, that's just a really good win condition for this round, and it's just going to get easier from there in theory. But even though they've gone these two KOs, they still haven't gotten the point yet. Still just holding one barrier strong, but NXCD should have it here, and there it is. Now Lilybun's low, but Soren's flip is going to be just too short, and Bun is now 1 point away of possibly turning the entire game around.
Yeah, don't count Bun out if there's anything we've learned so far throughout these series. That core is so quick in overtime and can turn the tides really quickly against either of these goalies. And there's one barrier taken away. Scyther is just a menace in the goal box. It's so hard to clear it out.
The Scyther 12 guy might have been a goalie in a past life or something. Or a lot of people, when he was first kind of up and coming, were like, this is a really good goalie player. Like, someone should really pick him up. But never ended up happening, really. Never really found a team, I feel like. But now, on this brawler position has become so strong. Voted NASL #2 team. Insane pass to Katsuna from NXCD, though, to get that one in. Passes into the dash. But it's going to be Scyther 12 just going absolutely crazy. 1v9 every game. Not really. Their team has been playing together really well this game. But finding these goals and finding these barriers to Scyther 12, his Spark of Resilience is up, and it is. This could be exactly what Bun Bun needed.
Sure is. We've seen Liari locking down the goal box so many times, able to secure both those barriers and keep them alive so much longer than EKC, who's in the midfield looking for KOs. And so Spark of Resilience going to be huge, able to tank those Luna ults that we see doing so much damage. So this is an absolutely massive draft for Bun Bun.
Yeah, we see the Spark Deny come out, and then Demo's taken, which is... Size is definitely really good on Zentaro, but the second Spark being taken there, not going to be allowed to be taken, rather. But immediately, you see all the evades immediately forced to be popped out from Liari and Scyther 12. That is just the power of picking Luna and Vice. Sometimes you kind of expect those sort of evades to be forced on the same target so that you can get that damage on guaranteed. Ooh. But a great hold from Lilybun is going to, or what was almost a great hold from Lilybun, was going to keep Bun Bun in this. The damage is not starting to matter anymore. Just the core control that EKC has from the Awakenings they've gotten so far might be enough to finish this game off on its own, but nothing taken quite yet.
Yeah, there's no easy goals in the NASL, and there's another player taken off the map, this time for EKC, which is scary. You have to try to defend this net. Lilybun getting close to core flip, finally picks it up. Now Liari is there to clear it away. The dash coming through from NXDD, but not finding its mark just yet. But Lilybun is on low HP in this net. That Spark of Resilience will help out a little bit, and we'll see how long Soren can hold.
Yeah, Soren has this barrier for a really long time. Scyther 12 not really having those opportunities to get those 1v1s, but there we go. We see the 1v1 and immediately Scyther 12 just jumps on the opportunity quite literally and is able to get that barrier. But now Lilybun's going to be forced to use flip, passes to Liari, who's immediately strikes the core forward, but now Scyther 12 is going to force the flip out of Soren. Now Liari has the better character for moving this forward. Lilybun is a great primary that's able to intercept that, but NXD has to read. Liari and Lilybun just been passing it together a little bit too much, makes the NXD reads onto that tendency and then reads it with the dash. There's an insane amount of understanding of what's going on from these two brawlers, both immediately jumping on their opportunities to score.
Yeah, that's huge. NXDD knows there's one way the core is going and tries to convert it into Bun Bun's net. An excellent play, and not to be swept under the rug, Liari has been winning crucial strike wars for Bun Bun Bonanza. There's been so many times where a certain goal or certain barrier has been avoided with them in the defense, but there's the two barriers, there's the flip and the confirm from NXDD. An excellent second goal, and EKC wants to close out game one.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing this over-reliance on having Liari play defense. It feels like they're both playing on the barriers the whole game, and if you're both playing on the barriers, it means you're never getting the core out, and you're never able to support Scyther. You're really just kind of hoping Scyther 12 can find a bunch of solo plays to win the game, which is the Bun Bun's plan normally, but so far it hasn't really been working, because look at Scyther 12 being forced 1v1, but now we have Liari finally moving forward, and they're able to get a barrier with the help of the team working together.
Oh, and that's huge from Scyther. Calls out the ult from Soren, which is not quick enough. Able to find a goal there, but isn't too little too late from Bun Bun Bonanza. They're stuck in their half the whole time, and the only time they've been able to take these barriers is when Scyther 12 just wins the ego check against Soren.
Yeah, and here we go. We have another chance at one, and it's going to be defended, though. Now we have Katsuna playing defense. It's kind of interesting. How Katsuna plays Luna isn't... it's pretty traditional, actually. It's just you spam as much damage as possible. Katsuna very good at hitting cooldowns and hitting abilities. Doesn't worry too much about the core control aspect of the character. Just leaves that to Soren and NXDD, especially, and just kind of a strike bot in front of the goal to help out. Liari kind of doing the same, though, but when Liari's able to move up, there's just that much more power on the character. The flip is going to whiff, though. Scyther 12 has flip in front of the goal, and it's going to go through two members of EKC. And Bun Bun, we're looking almost down and out, but this is what whenever you want to doubt Bun Bun, they're just immediately right back.
That's true, but Scyther an inches away from being taken off the map now, looking for the strike war against the entirety of the EKC defense. NXDD does have the flip. It's opting not to use it just yet. Wants to use it to secure that last goal and bring them up 1-0 in the series. And the ult ends up confirming that barrier. And Liari almost gets the snipe with the piercing shot, but just slightly off.
Oh, Lily Bun!
Oh
Yeah,
my
Lily
gosh,
Bun,
that barrier is
cross
gone.
map snipe. Yeah, the Deadeye just goes across the entire map and reaches. And being able to get that, but the own barrier coming out of that, I believe the flip is really unfortunate, but the bounces are so scary at this speed. And a KO is going to be found from Liari, but it's going to be a finish from Soren, getting another goal. That's the 4th or 5th or maybe even 6th goal from Soren this round. Just really showing that this Vice has been prepared for these types of games. It's just the power of the Vice is something that we haven't really seen in quite a while. The bug fix on the primary has been a really big deal in bringing back power to the character. We see Soren with 5 goals that game, more than either of his teammates. That's pretty ridiculous.
That is pretty ridiculous indeed. That power chord, an incredible ability usage from Soren. We've seen it stuff the Finny goalie so many times, and that's why playing a non-creation goalie against this team is so difficult. But map number 2 will be Taiko Temple, and this one is Bun Bun Bonanza's pick, so we'll see if they have any counterplay against this absolute onslaught from Era's Kittens Club that we come to know and expect.
Yeah, I do think between the 3 damage goalies, the Finny, Ice, and Aimee, Finny has just been kind of shown to be the weakest of the 3 by a pretty fair margin. Blech. But Vice is like kind of just coming out to show her fangs right now. It's going to be really scary in the future too, especially on map 3. If that's going to change any of the strategies, I'm not sure how much Bun Bun Bonanza was ready for the Vice, or how much they've even like played against it, or if they just want to like maybe the difference between the Vice and the Aimee is not enough to warrant the Aimee ban. But next map is probably one where we might not see Vice be quite as strong in the goal box. I've seen some Vice midfield be played on it and look pretty strong. Maybe it's fine in the goal, but it's a bit more. You can kind of get away with going with a little bit less damage on this map. I do still think it's kind of been figured out that on Taiko Temple you can still just go damage and win. But characters like Juno are really strong. Estelle is still really strong. Scyther 12, I've seen like I think yesterday in Aten City Underground we saw this team play this map Bun Bun, and Scyther 12 still picked Erasmus forward, went among Titans Erasmus, got full speed build, and then was still able to win versus 3 NASL players. So we'll have to see what strategies they bring to the temple today.
We will have to see. Of course, Drakkar, also a big contender on this map, able to just lock and load people directly into those drums. And, you know, Taiko, a map like 3Z mentioned earlier, it's just easy to confirm KOs. And is it more KO heavy than Atlas Lab? I would say yes. What would you say, Fudgy?
I agree with you that I agree with it's obviously you can KO people off the middle drum, and you can kind of get damage stacked off of the middle drum as well if you put them in just the right spots and know how to play around all of that. But at the same time, since the core moves so fast, if you have a brawler like Scyther 12, that can it's so much easier to procure their brawler, the core. And if you can find ways to outplay the enemy goalie, there's a lot more blitz potential on this map. And if you can just keep the pressure up with like Estelle plus any brawler, then sometimes you don't need to opt into that damage matchup. And instead can try to break through the damage. But whether or not Scyther 12 can survive all that coming at him is a big question. Kind of having that Kazan pick who has an extra evade can actually be a pretty big deal if Sector 12 can find ways to use that extra evade to continue to dodge damage, but we'll have to see if that's even picked in the first place, because we might see a lot of teams like to kind of take a step back and resort to comfort when they are on the back foot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Of course, as you mentioned earlier, Juno being a strong contender on this map, will that be able to escape the KOs that EKC has been consistently putting out time and time again throughout this NASL Season 3? We see them so much damage. That's just what they're known for. They're known for taking you off the pitch and scoring on your goalie when you're a man down. It is just so suffocating to play against. But like you mentioned, the blitz potential on a map like Taiko Temple is so huge. Getting it out of that corner is so difficult, to the point where we even see a lot of just creation goalies in general. We see Atlas, for example, just putting down that expanse and letting it do the work. We see Dubu played a lot. Even on the midfield, we see Dubu, which is always a treat for us here to watch Dubu just absolutely flying and tossing Tofu like their life depends on it. But it's difficult to go same lane. It's sort of that same night market area where it's really hard to get past that other person, especially if you are playing a character like Juno, maybe into a Zentaro like NXCD was playing last game.
Yeah, and something I've been thinking about a lot is like, what if you take NXCD off this Zentaro and kind of see what NXCD picks? NXCD has just a pretty like iconic Zentaro, can pick a lot of other things, or at the very least can pick Julian. I'm pretty sure at least he used to play. I feel like I haven't seen NXCD play Kazan in a while. Maybe I'm crazy, but I swear he used to play it. Maybe I am going bananas, but we'll have to see like what can be targeted here, because Katsuna has the Estelle, and I'm pretty sure has picked up the Juno as well, like as like every midfielder kind of has had to do. So whether or not it's worth the ban one over the other is kind of the same reason you don't see Liari targeted that much, is no one really wants to target the Estelle that's been picked pretty commonly because they know Liari has a Juno. So you don't really see the midfielders targeted nearly as much unless you want to ban something like Now, which is, EKC will ban almost every single time. But Scyther 12 and Lilybun being probably the ones more likely to receive a target ban if Now is not banned, which it will be, actually.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But we're heading into the game. More looking forward to seeing what Bun decides to ban us. This is their map, so they should have a prepped comp and ban for this map.
Yeah, we will see as we hop in here. And of course, those two starting awakenings last game, potentially an anomaly. We'll see if it happens again this time. Maybe a Monu start to make things crazy here in the Season 3 Winners Finals. But Taiko Temple, Bum Bum Bonanza versus EKC. We're starting to see what picks they are. Liari hovering the Juno. And yeah, Lilybun hovering the Atlas. Of course, such a strong goalie on this map. You see the Atlas strike shot being so popular. And it looks like the Asher ban coming out from Bum Bum Bonanza.
Yeah, must be targeting Soren. Must have been practicing that at some point. A little bit surprised to see it. I don't know if that's what Soren was planning to play. Maybe it was. I'm not entirely sure. I thought Lilybun was practicing it a little bit too, but it's probably just a little bit more comfortable on the other melee goalies. We see Team Player and Spark of Focus start, so no insane Deadeye damage start to kind of give a team a huge edge there. And Now kind of left up is something I think is really smart from EKC. If there's no clear path to damage, Team Player is going to make the core move really fast, so you kind of it's better to opt into core control. We see giving Liari the option to pick Now means that Liari might pick Now, which I think is on this map is just worse than Juno and Estelle. So having that much less power and less scoring potential is something that I think is going to help out EKC quite a lot.
Well, we will see two different strategies coming out from both these teams. No mirrored strikers on either side, so we will see which comp and which team is going to be the ones moving forward to the grand finals. Starting things off fairly slowly is Soren and Katsuna losing the strike word to Scyther, but Lilybun is pushed up so far, loses both of their barriers for it right away. And a huge mistake right off the bat could spell disaster for Bum Bum Bonanza.
Yeah, not a good look. You're kind of hoping you got all... honestly, I was going to say you're hoping to get all the nerves out early. NXCD gets a nice dash punch. But it's kind of good in a way that Lilybun was down to run up like that, because that shows not like a lack of nerves, you know? Was ready to make good, like, big, sort of courageous plays like that. Is punished immediately, but in the future, I do think those are the types of plays you want on Dubu in order to kind of equalize the lack of forward pressure you have in comparison to the Aimi. I love playing Aimi goalie on this map. I also love playing Dubu on this map, so it's pretty interesting in that matchup. But Liari is going to find not only the barrier, but the diamond Scyther 12, who hits it off of the center Taiko drum and gets the first goal, and there's Bun Bun striking right back.
That's one of my favorite parts about these maps, and just the outplays you're able to make with these, not gimmicks, but just features of the map, using that center drum to perfection. And I like the mix-up attempt there from Katsuna, trying to take these barriers. Scyther 12 with the ult, the drum in the middle once again, finding success for Bun Bun Bonanza, their 4th player on the field. As Lilybun clears things away, a nice job utilizing these Taikos to their perfection.
Yeah, honestly, the Dubu-Julie matchup is pretty good for Dubu. Just dash punch gets stopped, usually by log or summer assault, but the KO of the flip, I believe, is what's going to take out Katsuna. But whenever NXCD has flip, look out for that dash punch flip. NXCD is just really, really good at finding those. And once again, Lilybun's punished for moving up to a little bit too far, maybe.
Yeah, this time not punished as much, only losing that one barrier. So Liari stalling things out and almost gets dash punched off the bottom. Just not enough power quite yet with these default awakenings here. And this time, Scyther 12 just snipes it into the net.
Yeah, hey, this Rasmus, I'm not a fan of it on this map, but if anyone's going to pick it and do well with it, it's going to be Scyther 12. The team is completely, well, honestly, both teams, they don't have really that much damage. Soren is picking the highest damage character of this game, and that's not really something that can be capitalized on, or like someone who's going to have to take a lot of ults or a lot of slimes in order for any KOs to be found through stagger, which is exactly what you want to see when you're Bun Bun, because that means like there's pretty much no times where anyone's going to get staggered because you have it now, and it means Scyther 12 is going to have a pretty fair amount of free reign over this game.
And there's that turret coming out, looking to take this last barrier that Lilybun's been doing a great job of saving when they're in the net. Liari looking to clear it past these two people, uses the flip almost enough with the Scyther 12. Ult there coming out with that hook, but forced to run away and will get healed up to full by now. This is a different change of pace than last game, as Scyther is sitting in the net with the pass up to Liari just high, as Lilybun now clearing it away to Liari and almost getting dash punched yet again, surviving on a knife's edge.
Yeah, maybe something really good about this map is that Katsuna cannot really pick Luna on. Luna kind of sucks on this map. So, like Scyther 12 gets a nice flip there. You don't really have to worry about the ban of, like you don't have to worry about Deadeye start as much, because like, even if it's Deadeye start, maybe the Luna doesn't have as huge of an impact. But on this like lower damage start and Spark of Leadership being picked up, but 3 Sparks on board is not really something. It's actually something you're pretty down to see, because it means your team's getting 2 Sparks. It's probably Spark of Refill or Spark of Strength. Both are actually pretty strong in their own ways. It looks like they're going to let one go